So, yesterday, well, last night, it was UFC Freedom, one of the best events in my opinion. This event took place at the White House where there was just many different types of faces, military personnel, people that served in the US Army, people that just served the US in general. And the USC, they did their big one by hosting a full event at the United States White House. This is like a historical site. Every single president has lived there. A lot of history within the US, and they were able to host I would say, one of the best well-run events. Every single fight was a knockout. There's no boring fights. It was just a top tier event. As you know, as I'm one shot in this video, because I have work in like an hour or two, I'm gonna just talk about like each fight real quick. So you start off the card with Diego Lopez. He just gets the quick knockout, TKO, and I think it's the second round, he fucks this guy up, Steve Gracie. He just dominates him, and then you see him like dapping up all of the fans and just running through the crowds like a mystic, like Titan, just dapping up all the people. Dude, he deserves it. Brazilian chill. He gets a knockout. Bo Nickal gets a knockout. We're just gonna go through, and then Bo Nickal. He's Bo Nickal. Can't say much. Wrestler. And then you get to like the lightweight where you have Michael Chandler versus Mariko Rafi. I don't know who that guy is, I'll be honest, but he's coming up. He beat Michael Chandler in a really big setting. I remember seeing a clip of like Michael Chandler bringing out this veteran who's 101 years old. It was, he did his little thing. It was a little, people were saying it's corny. I think, it's chill, bro. Brought out a veteran. So he brought out the veteran that was running on the fucking thing, and he lost. So that was a bummer. I didn't, Michael Chandler, he's this guy who you think is explosive, but he has been like losing a good amount of fights. But he does his thing. And then you have fucking John Hoke versus Derek Lewis. This one, I wasn't expecting Derek Lewis to lose like that. I grew up seeing Derek Lewis fight. He's lost some crazy fights, but for the most part, you think someone like Derek Lewis with a lot of like history and notoriety in the UFC would do a bit better, but just got fucking floor wiped with him in the second round, and dude didn't even put up a fight like crazy. Then you have Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley, he got to finish quickly. He did pretty well. There's not much to say there. He's back. He won in front of the White House. Really big TKO for him. And then, fucking, oh my gosh, Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. I'll be honest, we could stay on this one for a little bit longer. I feel like Alex Pereira, he didn't look, usually, he's not like this fighter that does all the fucking this shit, doesn't do all this fucking jumping, twitching and shit, but he just didn't move. Like, he seemed slower than usual. It's like he was like he wasn't throwing enough fucking volume. He wasn't doing the average, like his old stance where he was like this. I feel like that's the prime Pereira. Like, he, the stance where he was just boom, boom, counter. He wasn't even doing that. It was just, he was standing there. Like, bro, you weren't even doing like any of your prime shit. It's like you weren't even, I think the moment maybe got to him. And he's one of my favorite fighters. He seems like calm most of the time, but I feel like the moment got to him. But Cyril Gane, he was like moving, sticking jab. He was really fast, like for a heavyweight, he's fast, and he was able to beat Alex. But I think maybe if they're to rematch, Alex would get it back, because Alex is, he's good at rematches. And then, we have fucking Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. I feel like this fight was good because this was a good matchup for Ilya. It was somebody that could actually, fight him and do well. People might say like, oh, Justin lost to Max Holloway. Just no. I already knew Justin Gaethje was gonna win this fucking match based off of like his chin is definitely better than a lot of people. He has one of the best chins in the fucking division. This dude, like, he was much bigger than Ilya coming in. And his low kicks are like, he could have used a low kick more during the fight, but that's like a whole conversation for another video. But, Alex, he had everything going for him. I think, my bad, why I say Alex? I think Justin just had everything going for him. He was the better fighter. He could have definitely knocked him out earlier if he really went in. I just think he was afraid of the counter, like really afraid. So I think he didn't really want to go in, which, makes sense. Ilya did beat Max Holloway off of a counter. He beat almost everybody off of a fucking counter. So it makes sense why you just don't want to go in on a dude that could knock you out at any second. But, Justin won. I think, honestly, it was perfect for America. Great fight. Most of the Americans did win on the card, so I think it was a great event. Pretty top tier. But yeah, honestly, UFC Freedom was, I don't know if it was rigged, but pretty free, pretty great. Represented the land of the free, home